Hello people of YouTube, Pixie here, and today on my channel we are going to be doing another tea talk, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about why I decided to go to UC Berkeley instead of the other colleges that I got accepted into. And before we get started, because it is a tea talk, we have to start with today's blend, which is chamomile, because it is one of those days, if you know what I mean, where you just need a good cup of chamomile. So yeah. Before we get started though, I just want to say that this is just kind of my story about why I decided to. Not really saying that you should choose one over the other, I'm just telling you why I decided to end up choosing to go to UC Berkeley. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. Some brief background about me is that I grew up in Southern California and I lived there my entire life until I went to UC Berkeley. And also I went to a community college for 3.5 years before I transferred, and while I was at community college I went through a few different majors. I initially started out as a psychology major, but then got a little apprehensive about taking some of the courses required for me to transfer, so I decided to switch out of psychology and decided to instead pursue something that I had been doing since I was a kid, or that I loved since I was a kid, which was being an English major. And so, sorry, I just had to put something down. And so I decided to be an English major because I just loved words and stuff like that. And I also, at that time, decided to also pursue the pre-med requirements because I thought that I wanted to be a doctor, and we will do another update video on my life currently with that whole situation, but for the purpose of this story, just know that when I applied I was totally set on being an English major slash completing the pre-med requirements. And yeah, so when I applied, or actually all throughout going to community college, I knew that I didn't want to go to UCLA because my brother went there and I kind of felt like it was too close to home in a way because I had always lived in basically the Los Angeles area, and so I kind of didn't really want to go there, but my mom really wanted me to go there, so I applied anyway. And I also knew that from when I was a little kid, when I visited San Francisco as a child, I knew that at some point in my life I wanted to live in Northern California and maybe go to school up here, and I kind of thought that maybe I would apply to like Stanford or something, but that never ended up, I never did that. And so UC Berkeley, I also really loved UC Berkeley when I was a kid, so I knew from when I was a little kid that I wanted to kind of go to school, go to college in Northern California. And so when I applied to UC Davis, and I actually tagged UC Davis. If you don't know what that is, I will link it in the description below. Basically just stands for Transfer Admission Guarantee, and if you have a certain GPA, you are kind of guaranteed admission to that school. And so I chose UC Davis for that, and then I also applied to UC San Diego, UC Irvine, UCLA, and then UC Berkeley. So I applied to all of them because I really wasn't entirely sure where I was going to get accepted into, and so I just applied to basically all of them. And it was really weird, right before I applied, or right as I was applying, I really had a change of heart suddenly. I really wanted to go to UCLA, and it was totally out of nowhere. I don't know why I was so set on UCLA while applying. I think maybe it has to do with kind of me being fearful of like leaving the nest and leaving behind my mom and I are very close, so I don't know if I was just scared of like leaving behind that relationship and wanting to stay close to home, or scared to just kind of get out of my comfort zone, but I don't know why, but I really thought UCLA, and I had never been like that my entire, like I wasn't even going to apply to UCLA at one point, but then I just had a change of heart and was like totally set on UCLA. And so I applied to everywhere and was waiting for my acceptances or rejections. And also, you should know that when I applied to UCLA and everywhere else, I applied to everywhere as an English major except for UCLA, where I applied as, where I applied as an American literature major. And the reason that I did that was because I was so set on UCLA that I was so worried that I wasn't going to get in as an English major, because I looked at the average GPA of the admitted students for that major and it just didn't seem like it was in the cards for me. So I applied as an American literature major, which was close enough to English and hopefully would make me a stronger applicant with my GPA with that specific major, because all of that stuff is listed on their website and you can totally check out how you might fare against the average people who are accepted, average GPA of people who are accepted. So I was so concerned about that I decided not to apply as an English major because I didn't think I was going to get in, or I was really worried about it. And yet I still applied everywhere else as an English major. UC's SD has a little bit of a different program as well, but I basically was an English major when I applied, like a literature major or something like that. And so I even applied to UC Berkeley as an English major. Don't really know what I was thinking. I don't know if I thought there was a chance that I could get in even if I applied as an American literature major to UCLA. I still just submitted it because I think deep down I knew that I wanted to go to Northern California like I had always wanted to. And so when I submitted it, that is what I did. And after that, the decision started coming out. I found out about UC Davis because of the GPA thing. I knew I was going to get in, so I was excited about that. And then I got waitlisted at UC San Diego, and that was like, I was devastated. I was crushed. I thought for sure, because UCLA happened to come out that same day, I did not think I was going to get in at all. Like, there was no way. But somehow I got into UCLA and I was like so excited. I was crying. I was so excited. But then the next week, UC Berkeley's decisions came out and I got in for the spring semester, and it was super weird because I wasn't sure if I wanted to wait an extra 3 months for UC Berkeley, especially because I'd been so set on UCLA at this point. But I thought about it, and I really thought about how I wanted to kind of get out of my comfort zone. Living in one place your entire life, it's fine if you love it, but I thought maybe this would be a good opportunity for me. And also I really like nature, and I looked at UC Berkeley's campus like through pictures and stuff, and I just knew that it was probably for the best. And I thought about it a lot more too, obviously, and I English major at UC Berkeley, so you know how like you can see how your programs are ranked like throughout the UCs? UC Berkeley's English program was ranked the highest, and I knew that I wasn't going to be studying English necessarily at UCLA, just American literature, and in my heart I was an English major, and so I couldn't give that up. There's no way I could pass that kind of opportunity at UC Berkeley up. And also nature, and also my inner heart knew that I wanted to always go there. Even like I randomly logged into my like old computer when I was a kid, and it like had UC Berkeley as the background, and I thought about it and I knew I would be sad leaving my mom and kind of, you know, gaining more independence, but I was really happy with my choice. And I recommend that if you are trying to decide, to just kind of make sure you make the decision for yourself. Don't let anyone else interfere with your decision. That is like what I tried to do for the most part. I did take certain things into consideration, but I thought that it was definitely worth it to wait those 3 months to study at the best program, to study at a place like UC Berkeley. And yeah, that is basically why I chose it. I hope this gave you some kind of help. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, and also feel free to subscribe to my channel. And I love you all so much. I will see you all in my next video.